The bipartisan debt bill heads to the House floor with a vote expected tonight, and it will be a busy day for leadership as they work to whip the votes to get it to pass, with some lawmakers already suggesting alternatives.
Vote no and do the right thing, and let's go find a better deal.
There's going to be a reckoning about what just occurred.
And this deal is absolutely one of the biggest abominations.
Don't tell me you're going to put me over a barrel for $4 trillion because you refuse to do your job.
I don't think the Biden-McCarthy plan is significant reform, but that's in the eyes of the beholder. I think conservatives across the country deserve an alternative, so I'll present an alternative in the Senate.
Kevin O'Leary is chairman of O'Leary Ventures and knows a thing or two about making a deal. He joins us now. Kevin, good morning to you. You know, you heard Byron Donalds say right there at the beginning, let's find a better deal. So is there, in your opinion, a better deal?
No. This deal has to get voted, and it will tonight. We're at the cusp of defaulting, which would be a very bad deal. And everybody knows you have to give something up. This deal has pain on both sides of the aisle, which is kind of why you know it's going to work. And it really takes off the table the debt ceiling debate right through the election cycle, which is important. We can go back and debate spending again to the election, and that will happen. But this deal is going to get done, and it's a good thing for markets, good thing for America, good thing for investors, good thing for business. And there's some bonuses in this bill I like. For example, a pipeline is going to get approved, got some better policy on permitting. Those of us that want to invest in energy independence, like me, in West Virginia, North Dakota, Oklahoma, this looks good. I like what I'm seeing here.
We've heard politicians on both sides say what they think will and will not happen if we do default. You've expressed some optimism that this is a good deal. But when it comes to what happens if we default, I like to go to a business guy like you because you actually know. You're not talking through your you-know-what like these politicians. So what would happen business-wise, both here and internationally, if we default?
If we defaulted, what would happen, and you could measure it within hours, is the price of our Treasury bills yield would double or quadruple. It would be like Venezuelan debt. All of a sudden, instead of being 4%, 5%, it'd be 11, 17%. The cost of maintaining our debt would skyrocket. The government wouldn't be able to service any functions or services at all. It would be a catastrophe, and everybody knows that. Both sides of the aisle know that. This is the default currency of the earth. It prices commodities all around the world. The idea that the American government would default is a fiction. It's a fiction. It would never happen. It would be a very, very bad idea and irresponsible for any politician to use it to get airtime. And that's what some of them are doing on both sides of the aisle. And I don't blame them. They've got hard work ahead of them. But we're going to do this deal because it's the right thing for everybody involved.
So would you say that it's a 50-50 split between who came out better between Democrats and Republicans on this?
Everybody hates this deal, and that's why it's going to happen. I'm going to tell you, you know, it's not enough spending cut. I get it. And it certainly erased some of the programs that Biden felt really passionately about. Student debt gets resolved, for example. Yes, you have to pay back your student debt. You have to work if you're getting welfare. All of these issues are around the edges. This deal just solves for the debt ceiling. It doesn't really change much, and it doesn't really reduce the deficit. That's for more policy decisions over the next 18 months. I like what this is setting up. We're going right into the election cycle right after this. We're starting to see DeSantis, Trump, other politicians start to use this debt ceiling as a springboard for new policy agenda. And I think that's a good thing for the country.
Speaking of which, a Wall Street Journal headline says Wall Street dreads a Biden-Trump rematch and quotes a senior Wall Street negotiator who explained, quote, everybody's hoping for a miracle. Nobody wants Biden. Nobody wants Trump. Let's focus on the Biden part of this. So who does the far left limousine liberal big donor class want if they don't want Biden? Kevin?
The truth is, it just doesn't matter anymore. It's more about policy if you're trying to raise money. Obviously, they're concerned about his age. Let's put that on the table. They would like to see a more dynamic discussion about leadership that may be new in terms of a real debate. But that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if he can continue to keep his caucus together and he does want to run again, that's his purview as existing president. Is that a great strategy to win? You simply don't know. But this is a tough one because it also puts the VP at play. And Harris is not very popular in her party. And so you wonder if that ticket should be somehow examined if Biden's staying at the top of it. All of these are on the table. But the thing that really, really matters now is how do you keep your narrative so that people want to hear it?
Yeah.
And this is going to be a remarkable election cycle because social media is now the most important.
And Kevin O'Leary's going to be around for it. Kevin, thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.